we're going to head over to the analyst desk where they're being joined by the newly victorious Perks.
Thank you very much indeed, joined by Perks. 1-1 in the end. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm not exactly happy because I expected us to kind of stomp them today. But game one, we made some mistakes which shouldn't have been made. And also, I went bot at 20 minutes when I had TP in 1 minute up. And they rushed Nash at 20 minutes, which was kind of, no one of us expected it. And then when we called Nash, it was already 2k HP. So that's like, they kind of got the momentum there from Nasher. And yeah, so after that, it was like just stalling, farming, and then they got another Nash. And then they got
500
a couple of more
inhibs.
Nashers, you know. But it was like a 67 minutes game, and my AD carry broke the record of world's most CS, so I'm happy for him, you know. It was worth the game, you know. Even though we lost, it was worth. So, yeah, we lost.
Yeah, how surprised were you? I gotta say, we were very surprised that OG managed to do anything versus you guys after the way you guys destroyed Fnatic yesterday. How much did that take you aback?
I mean, honestly, Origen is like a pretty good early game team. Like, they're not bad at all. They have good players and they play micro game pretty good. And but we were a bit surprised because the mistake we made shouldn't have happened. And so that kind of set us behind. But then we just reset after the game and focused on game two, what to do and to not do mistakes, and we just stomped them.
And then you give up first blood. What happened then?
Top laner.
First blood, we were saying careful level 1 image, Shen Bard, and then 5 seconds later, Shen Towns and Bard Qs, and
It happens.
And it happened that Syndra got first blood in Doran's ring, but it was fine.
What about the matchup though? Syndra against the Blanc.
I mean, I had to blind pick something, so I didn't want to blind pick Zilean, so I just blind picked LeBlanc. I was like 95% sure he was gonna pick Syndra, because Syndra used to counter LeBlanc before and still does, but I was confident in playing the matchup. And then when he got Doran's ring and level 2 after 2 creeps, I was a bit not confident.
Tilted?
But, yeah, I was a bit tilted, but he screwed up, made a mistake, and died 1v1 like level 3 or something. And after that, I was a lot more confident. And then they were just trying to force plays and getting like, they were forcing fights and we were not taking them. And then we took fights that we wanted and they didn't want them, and they wanted them, but it was good for us. And then we just were snowballing, getting kills, and yeah, so we just got 30 kills or something. Some fantasy points for Trick. For me, of course, not, because people play through in my KDA, so nothing I can do.
Not only fantasy points for Trick, another player of the game, and he has a lot already. We're going to see the leaderboard later. He is number one, I think.
He's the best jungler.
The best jungler, hands down.
For sure, he's like, he's so good. I don't know, good mechanics, best brain. He's calming. He's like in-game leader. He's like, he just made me a better player since last split, and I can't be more happy than to have Trick by my side. So.
Oh, fantastic. One more thing I want to ask you about. I saw you, of course, hugging Hybrid over there. How was it playing against him? How do you think he's doing?
Well, me and Hybrid go way back, like for 1 year since G2. We accomplished a lot in G2. We qualified for LCS. We won Europe, and we had a successful round MSI.
We don't talk about that.
Cut.
And yeah, we had a lot of fun times and sharing some memes and stuff. So we are good friends, and yeah, just hugged him and that's it.
One more quick question. What do you think?
You got all the questions. It's good. Go.
What do you think of the top 3 right now? Because we had Airwax.
What's top 3 right now?
It's G2, Fnatic, H2K.
H2K?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Airwax, we had him on the desk earlier, and he said, "I don't think H2K is good at all."
Wait, did Rocket win second game versus H2K?
No, 1-1.
Oh, it was 1-1. How did they win second game? Okay, that doesn't matter. I think H2K is a good team. They have really good macro play. So I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, I think their AD carry and mid laner are underperforming, especially AD carry. I see him buying QSS, third item every game, even when it's not needed, which I think is really bad. And I think that sets him behind a lot by not having AD damage on the team and just playing wrong. So I expect H2K to be a stronger team by the end of the split though, but right now they're struggling a lot.
Because technically it doesn't actually matter right now.
Yeah,
all
right
that matters is in a few weeks.
They have good players, of course. Like.
Yeah.
So G2, Fnatic, H2K is what we see going into playoffs, probably?
It's hard to say right now because I would say Europe is either Europe is really bad right now,
I think that's it.
or Europe is really good right now, because every team is like taking games of everyone, like Unicorns 2-0 the H2K, and then Rocket 1-1 versus Unicorns, and then some 0-2s, and it's really weird standings and really weird results of the matches. So it's gonna be interesting to see who is even gonna be top 6. Like I think Fnatic and us are gonna be top 6 for sure, and then it's hard to say who's gonna be everyone else.
Hey, Giants right now is, spoiler alert, beating Fnatic, but
Okay, I'm taking back that.
we're going to go over to that game in a bit, but first we're going to recap another game that happened over in the arena, because those games were incredibly long here. Splyce and Vitality, and Vedius is going to give us the lowdown.
Thank you very much, Shox. Yes, I was keeping an eye on that game that was happening earlier on the other stream, and to be honest, it was very much largely a lot of picks going on either side from both teams early on. They had so much pick potential from either side. It was a bit of a sloppy game. First blood, things were looking pretty positive for Splyce, but then it ends up being turned around horribly as Shook was able to come in for the counter engage and get that return kill. And while after all the picks had happened, it turned out that Vitality decided, hey, let's try and go for this Baron play. We think it can work out. They're able to get it successfully, but Splyce gets so many kills off the back of it that they actually gain a lot of momentum. And that actually turns into their favor in a lot of ways, because you can see here, Vitality, they try to force this fight. They tried to toe for a tower dive, and things looking very promising, but then Mickey with another fantastic Bard ultimate is able to turn the fight around. And the moment that you have Wonder joining in from the back of the fight, you can see why he was able to earn that player of the game for that series. And after they clean up this fight, they actually go straight into the enemy base and they end up closing things out. So Splyce, they take the 2-0 in that series in somewhat of a surprising fashion, and Vitality, even with the addition of Shook, not quite being able to match up to the pressure that Trashy was able to put out. But with the scores in the LCS studio settled for now, we're going to tune into Stream E.